Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Hugo Quintanilla here with another live, and I have my co-host Fluffy here with me, holding down the fort today, turning tax returns into keys. 10 smart strategies to kickstart your real estate journey in 2024. So, if you have any questions, please leave it on your platform of choice. Let's get started. Number one, you can use the tax return as down payment fund. Allocate a portion of their tax returns to a dedicated down payment fund. This can jumpstart a client's savings for a future home purchase. Really, more than anything else, we want to give you the ability to start to really believe in the process and saving that money, setting it aside for strictly down payment and saving up for your down payment is motivation. It does get you going and starts the ball rolling in that direction towards home ownership. Just psychologically, it helps. Number two, explore first time home buyer credits. Investigate any available first time home buyer tax credits. These incentives can provide financial assistance to eligible buyers. Now, I put this in there because with the allocation of funds, that down payment, first time home buyer assistance in your state can help to offset some of that cost. You're always going to have money to have for closing. So we want to keep a lot of that money in there, but we want you exploring first time home buying programs because there could be some programs on there that are much better for you in the long run or for your situation. Number three, you can use the tax return to pay off some debt. Paying off debt is probably the fastest way to improve your credit. Use your tax return to pay off high interest debts. Reducing debt improves financial profiles and it can make it more attractive to lenders to lend to you. Invest in real estate education. One of the best things you can do is maybe even take a class or a course at your local community college or university that teaches you more about real estate. A trusted advisor can be found and you can find a teacher that can teach you the ins and outs of real estate. Now, will that get you prepared to do everything that, it takes to get a property sold and done and what everything you need? Probably not, but it will give you a better understanding and probably a more credentialed individual teacher than someone that you just follow on YouTube. Luckily you talking to myself that's a licensed realtor in Maryland, but I myself will admit that I don't know everything. And I advise myself with a group of people that are knowledgeable in these areas. That's what's really it's about. It's getting the right information to you and getting you in contact with the right people. So, investing in a good education source, be it online or in person, is a great way to invest that money. You're investing in yourself and your own knowledge, and that is probably the best investment you can ever make. Number five, you can start an emergency fund. Um, an emergency fund is strictly for those rainy days. You might have a problem that arises unexpectedly, but I've talked about it several times, and there are a lot of financial advisors that they promote having a fund for emergencies, one being small and one being larger. For example, I always bring up Dave Ramsey because it's just very easy to understand. Having $1,000 to start off with as an emergency or rainy day fund, that is a great starting point. Then the next step would be something that's larger, 3 to 6 months of your expenses. That's again another challenge. But doing the first challenge in itself and accomplishing that goal is so incredible. And it is in a step in that right direction that you want to be taking. Now, if we are somewhat financially stable and we have other plans, we're not really looking into buying or strengthening our portfolio, we can explore real estate investment opportunities. Using the tax return as seed money for exploring real estate investment opportunities, this could include purchasing a rental property or investing in a real estate crowdfunding platform. And there are several nowadays, but they all come with their risks. There are some that are on the up and coming that are based on crypto. There's some that are based on traditional financial institutions. There are some that are based on a group of private investors. There are tons of these types of opportunities out there. Are they for everyone? Absolutely not. Are they for the savvy investor? Not necessarily. Do you need a hefty amount of money to get started? Probably. We're talking usually upwards of about 100 to $112,000 or more, just to really get into that world. Some of the crowdfunding platforms are substantially less. We're talking as little as $500 to get started. So, something to think about. Do your research. Again, like investing in any sort of stock, it is a risk that you do assume, but real estate in a proper platform that has consistent returns and a good blueprint can always be very beneficial. So um, I would look into it if you feel like that's a type of investment that you would like to do at this moment. You can also use the tax return for a home ownership savings account, opening a dedicated savings account for home ownership and deposit the tax return into that account. This separate fund prevents there being any money spent on non-essential items. It can be very tempting to have that money just in your account, and all it takes is one, you know what was it that I saw today? All it takes is one me month to completely ruin my expenses, so, or my budgeting. So it's very easy to put yourself into a hole again, and that's what we are trying to do, is get you out of a hole and get you into a more comfortable situation. If you can use this fund, if you're a homeowner already, you can use this fund to do maintenance on your property. And we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Consult with a financial advisor. Number 8, schedule a meeting with a financial advisor to discuss how the tax return can be strategically utilized for real estate goals. Advisors can provide personalized guidance based on their financial situation. It's really quite simple. And again, I always say that if you don't know how to do something, get people that know how to do it to help you to do it. There's no need to not do something just because you don't know how to do it. There are ways that you can learn to develop the skills that you need to get there. Just you have to work with what you have and you have to grow from there. We all start somewhere, and just being honest with yourself about where we start and growing from there is the best way to continue on and forward. And consulting with a financial advisor, a trusted financial advisor, is a great way to go. We're talking about, going to a Charles Schwab or maybe a private broker that handles this stuff, but someone that's reputable, that will has a good track record, and that's willing to have the heart of a teacher is really the best thing I've ever heard. Someone that's willing to take the time to teach you about the investments so that you are investing in something that you're knowledgeable about. Because remember, rule number 1 is we never invest in anything that we do not know or understand. So, or can explain ourselves. So, continue on further, you can use that tax return and invest in home improvements. For those who already own a home, considering using a tax return to improve some of the property. This not only enhances the living space, but can also potentially increase the property's value. And remember, we're always looking for good ROI over the course of years, so that we're not feeling like, hey, we just remodeled this property towards the end and now we have to sell it. We just made it look beautiful for someone else. We're enjoying the property, we're renovating the property, we're living in the property, we're making memories in the property, and then we're selling the property to grow our portfolio and develop wealth. Um, Lastly, number 10 is explore real estate investment trusts. Those are REITs. Invest in real estate investment trust REITs with tax returns. REITs allow investors to participate in the real estate market without directly owning properties. And you can invest in REITs in a whole plethora of platforms, as simple as Robinhood. You could do it on Webull. You could do it on more traditional accounts like I'm sure Merrill Lynch. What's the other one? Goldman Sachs, probably on Fidelity, and all these other sites as well. Um, REITs if you do your research, will show you that they've had their ups and downs. Some are doing better than others, depending on their diversification and their exposure to the commercial market. More than anything else, real estate investment trusts specialize in a certain type of real estate. So look at their profiles, look at where they are based out of and how that particular market has been faring in these last few years. I, in the past, have invested in REITs. It has worked out for me, but it was a different time and it was a different era. So I would do my research on that now and see if that particular REIT that I'm interested in does have good returns and at least good history of having good bounce back if it has not. Remember, we are coming out of unprecedented times, so we are pretty much in uncharted territory, but the thought process is that real estate will always grow. So if you have a REIT that's diversified enough and in pretty good shape historically, it should pretty much hold its value. And that's what you want. If nothing else, you don't want to lose money. And remember, you only lose money once you sell. So that is something always to consider. These strategies can help you grow financially and expand, making moves to leverage your tax return to get closer to accomplishing your real estate goals. And for those that are just tuning in, these were the 10 ways your clients can leverage their tax returns to get into real estate. And by your clients, I mean you guys. Because at this point, I'm realizing that a lot of you guys want to work with me. So I really do appreciate it. Number one, down payment fund. You can use it to start your down payment. Number two, explore first time home buying credits and the options that are available there. Pay off high interest debt. Invest in real estate education for yourself. Start an emergency fund and use it to boost it. Explore real estate investment opportunities that are less conventional, like a crowdfunding platform. Um, Start a home ownership savings account. Consult with a financial advisor to see how else they would recommend using the tax return. Invest in home improvement and explore the real estate investment trust that exists, REITs, that are tradable on the stock exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please feel free and leave them on your platform of choice. I am Hugo Quintanilla, your licensed realtor in Maryland, specializing in Montgomery County with Long and Foster, North Potomac, Rockville. Tonight we were live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, Twitch, and LinkedIn and X. So if you have any questions, please leave them on your platform of choice. I would love to answer them on live and just bring more content that is valuable to you and to your families. Again, you can catch the replays of these episodes on my YouTube channel. That's Hugo, the number four, Long and Foster. And you can see some of the short form content, the little clips on my TikTok, which is Hugo, the number four, Long and Foster. And on my Instagram as well by the same name. So feel free, follow me online, be part of learning about real estate every day, about 15 to 20 minutes a day, because this is your live where we make your real estate dreams come true. And I'm laughing because I keep feeling like we need a catchphrase, we need a this, we need a that. Ah, I'll leave it up to you guys. Um, at the end of the day, I am very grateful for your participation and the dialogue that this has caused, because I think that really having a conversation about finances is incredible. We need to start talking about our finances with each other and learning how to maximize our finances with each other. We can all be financially free. There's enough of a pie for everybody. There doesn't need to be a feeling that, hey, because this person doesn't have, or because this person takes, I won't have this scarcity mindset. And really, when you embody that sense of abundance and expansion, it really does grow with you. So, really, I appreciate all of the great things that all of you have said about these lives, and just all the comments that I've gotten when I see you in person. Really, it warms my heart and I appreciate it. And this is just me trying to give you guys a little bit of information every day, because I know it's taken me years to learn what I've learned. And I know that just digesting a little bit every day kind of makes the picture a little bit clearer, because it took me a long time, even myself doing this every day dedicatedly. It took me a while to really see how the pieces work, see how you really can make the magic happen. And when it happens, it's beautiful. And I can tell you tons of stories. And I think I actually might do a live where I talk about some of my favorite stories in real estate. Because I think they're not all as pretty as they sound on my Instagram or on my other channels, because stuff happens, real estate happens. And, now that I'm maybe a few years removed on some of those stories, maybe they're conversation pieces we can have. But really, the best thing you can do is talk to people that you trust and consult with an expert. So, if you have any questions about real estate, I would love to help you out. If you need help buying, selling, leasing, or investing in Maryland, in the United States, or in the world, please let me know. I can help you out in all three. So, this is your live. I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night. Be safe out there and take care.